And we welcome you to beautiful New Haven, Connecticut. A nice day, a little chill to the air, but not inside here. We are in the home of Albertus Magnus. The Falcons are hosting the GNAC Men's Basketball Championship. The winner gets an automatic bid to the NCAA Division III Men's Basketball Tournament. I am Frank Rossi. As you can see on your screen, Jeff Franson with me here as your color commentator. And Jeff, on paper, Anna Maria versus Albertus Magnus would seem like a lopsided affair.
Yes.
But so have Anna Maria's other games so far this season, or in this tournament. And yet they are here today in the championship game.
Absolutely. They love that underdog role. Albertus Magnus is coming in with a 21-game winning streak. They seem like they're unstoppable, but we'll see what they do today.
You can hear the noise behind us. We don't even have a crowd microphone on, so we're going to have to keep our microphones really close to our own mouths today, I'll tell you that much.
This crowd is excited.
And we are waiting for the tip here of this exciting matchup. It's a small gym in terms of seating capacity, and yet it's going to be as loud as they get to this afternoon. Albertus Magnus with the tip. Arshad Jackson over the right side, and Zach Dugas. Dugas looking for help on that right side. Now over to Watson. Watson will shoot for three and hit it. 3-0, Albertus Magnus.
Saw him warming up in practice. He's looking good.
Going down the other end now for Anna Maria is Michael Gorman going to the left corner. He's being guarded by Dugas. Now over to Quantez Franklin trying to drive. He's rejected though outside the paint. Sends it back out now around to Hugh Dave. Hugh Davey is going to miss from three, but rebound by Franklin inside. Tries to put it back up. He thought he drew a foul. He didn't. Out of bounds. Will stay Anna Maria ball.
A lot of hustle. Big defense coming from Albertus Magnus out of the start.
So the out of bounds coming up here for number 12, Michael Gorman for Anna Maria. 32 on the shot clock still. As they did reset on the shot earlier. Click with the ball. He hit the game winner against St. Joseph's of Maine on Thursday night to win 60-59 and get his team here. Hugh Davey. He will miss the shot. It will stay, though, Anna Maria ball. It was, I believe, partially blocked out there as I took my eye off the ball for a half second with 18 still on the shot clock.
Some controversy, not sure.
Might go back to replay that for a second here if we can and see. And this is a replay from earlier.
The crowd disputes the call, that's for sure.
Yeah, they do. Tough to see. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the right cut on that, so we'll work on getting better replays in the future, folks. And Anna Maria will inbound the ball. It is taken by Bristol. Bristol back out to Anthony Click. He's listed as guard/forward team. 4-3 off the front of the rim. A fourth chance, though, by Anna Maria as Hugh Davey came away with it. Davey will go into the paint, put it up, miss. A fifth try, though, for Javier Bristol.
Offensive rebounding. This team is undersized, but they got a lot of heart.
Darius Watson down the other end for Albertus Magnus, who leads 3-2 right now with 18:35 left first half. Driving the baseline is Dugas, putting it up and in.
A big shot.
5-2 Magnus, Albertus Magnus, excuse me. The Falcons looking to return to the NCAA tournament for the first time in 2 years. We all know what happened in that one. We'll talk more about it later, though, against William Patterson in that game. Here's a steal. And coming down with it, number 0, Ray Askew. Couldn't make the shot, but he'll get 2 free throws. Askew on the season overall, it just lights out. 24.3 points per game. In terms of free throw shooting, 66.3%. Part of his game he probably wants to improve on, and when it comes to tournaments, you have to.
Absolutely. He gets to the line a lot, though. Sometimes defense just can't stop him, so they try to foul him, and he needs to hit his free throws if he wants to stop that from happening.
Free throw number 1 is up and in. 6-2, Albertus Magnus, as you can see in the scoreboard on the top of your screen.
Albertus Magnus off to a 6-2 start right now. Beginning of these championship games are so important.
And the rebound will be taken by Anna Maria on the missed free throw. We'll stay with this view for a second for you, folks, as we do have 2 cameras, courtesy of Albertus Magnus helping us out. And now it is taken over by Anthony Click on the left side. Anna Maria trails by 4, 6-2 right now. Click trapped outside that paint, fed it inside to Bristol. Bristol puts it up and misses. And a rebound to Dugas. Let us
Another
stolen away.
turnover.
Yes, it is. Hugh Day will wait for his team. Excuse me, it's Hugh Day, D-A-Y-E. We'll get used to his name today. I'm going to get everybody's name right, as this is a big game for both teams. Day being double teamed and loses the ball. Coming down the other way. Day pokes it away.
Steal. Turns back to
Michael Gorman. Coming down the other end. It's taken by Bristol. Back out and around. Fake the three does Michael Gorman. Now comes back out to the point. 17-15 on the game clock for the first half. 18 on the shot clock right now. Javier Bristol around again to Day. Day really is the leader, it seems like, right now of this team at that point. To Franklin. Franklin looking for help. It'll be back around the Click with 5 on the shot clock. 4-3. Click needs to do something with it. Didn't see the shot clock. Gorman gets it off in time.
Oh, it's a big shot.
A three-pointer with no time left on that shot clock. It's 6-5, Albertus Magnus. Dugas tries to feed it inside. It's blocked away, but he gets it back somehow. Watson now with the man in his face. That's Anthony Click trying to take it away, but he's unable to. And our shot Jackson will control it by the timeline. 17 on the shot clock. Jackson over to Dugas, back around to Askew. Askew sending it around now. Back over to Darius Watson. Dugas feeds it inside. Askew tries to turn and shoot, but he's double teamed. Here's a long two by our shot Jackson. That goes in. About a 19-footer there.
Yeah, it was a great shot.
And now it's 8-5. Albertus Magnus, 16-15 left, first half. Michael Gorman trying to drive, but he almost picked up his dribble, passed it out finally to Franklin.
Toe on the line.
Yeah, it was for 2, but it was no good. The rebound to Darius Watson. Watson stops and pops for 3. Yes!
Oh, money.
11-5. Albertus Magnus leads with 15:55 left, first half.
It's the second 3 of the game already.
Now back out the other way. It's Click trying some smooth dribbling there. Passes back out, but he travels. Got a little too fancy with the dribble, Jeff.
Yeah, absolutely. Games like this, you get a little nervous, you try to get fancy, and something like that happens. You're going to turn the ball over. You got to keep it fundamentally sound.
And so we are looking right now at an 11-5 game. Albertus Magnus' largest lead is 6 in this game. And number 11, our shot Jackson, carries it across the timeline. To Watson, back around, now to Jackson. Jackson puts up an alley-oop. Ray Askew! Ray Askew. They look like the Shooting Stars teams from yesterday, the Rising Stars teams in the NBA All-Star Weekend.
Absolutely.
Timeout, Anna Maria.
That man is going to go places.
He went places. He went above the rim, in fact. 13-5.
13-5. That's a big lead to jump out to early in the game right now. We're only 4.5 minutes into the game, and Albertus Magnus has established control.
And you can see it right there on that replay. Ray Askew with a giant dunk on the alley-oop. Hey, the replay worked.
Yeah, that's great.
But we can use it for something in basketball. We were a little concerned about that at our productions here, how it would work. And, you know, folks, as we do head into the tournament time here, we here at D3Hoops.com want to remind you all weekend to stay tuned to D3Hoops.com, as tomorrow night will be Selection Sunday on Hoopsville. I believe it starts at 7 p.m. with Dave McHugh, and they're going to talk about the selection process, but the selections won't be released until Monday. You'll see the entire time frame on D3Hoops.com.
Very exciting. A lot of teams are holding their breaths. They're not sure if they're going to make it in.
One team in particular, if they were to lose today, would be Albertus Magnus, believe it or not, Jeff.
It's amazing. 21-game winning streak, and they have a chance of not making the tournament.
Right now, they're ranked 9th regionally in the Northeast, which bodes poorly for a team in a 61-team tournament like the men's tournament is. So we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting. Again, Hoopsville tomorrow and Monday on D3Hoops.com. Dave McHugh does a wonderful job, as always, on there. 13-5, our score here, and it is Anna Maria with the ball right now, trying to erase this deficit. Hugh Day thinks about driving. He's got 2 men on him. Does drive partially, but the ball's knocked away off the hands of Corey Pryor.
I think that went off his head.
He was unfortunately making a freshman mistake there, trying to think about what he was going to do with the ball before he got it. Now to the right corner, back out and around. Albertus Magnus, some crisp, fast passing going on here in the game. Jefferson Laura lost the ball.
Steps out of bounds.
Yeah, out of bounds against Anna Maria, and therefore it will remain Albertus Magnus ball. 24 on the shot clock is no possession. technically change hands.
That was nice help defense by Anthony Click. Came from the weak side, came around and double teamed the big man. Got the steal, but he stepped out of bounds.
And we have a timeout. Anna Maria, it looks like a 30-second timeout coming up here for Anna Maria.
Albertus Magnus has the size advantage. Jefferson Lower right there, he's about 6'8". There's nobody on Anna Maria who can guard him one-on-one. He's just much more massive than anybody that they've got, so they're going to have to double team him.
Now, for those of you playing along at home, you are looking at two teams with the initials AMC. Yes, Albertus Magnus College and Anna Maria College. We always thought about doing the initials on your screen, so it's a little more compact, but in this case, we really can't.
That's not going to help anybody.
Yeah. So, again, Frank Rossi here with Jeff Franson as we watch this very good game here. A 6 seed versus a 1 seed, but a 6 seed that has taken out the 2 and 3 seeds on their way here. They played on the road all week long, and they are here to talk about it.
They're Goliath killers.
And look at that, right underneath.
Nice move, nice
25, move. Darius Watson with that easy basket. 15-5, largest lead of the game here for Albertus Magnus. The Falcons with that big lead. Playing defense now against Gorman. Gorman tries to enter the paint. Can't really get there. Passes it to Pryor. Wanted to put it up. Now it's going to be passed back out to Click. 4-3. Yes. 15-8 now.
That was great ball movement. They're really passing the ball well, and that was a great shot.
Dugas. Pass it over to Askew. Thank you very much.
Down with authority.
Askew just unbelievable in his ability to score. He had 51 points in a game this season. He even had 38 against Medgar Evers, their one loss this season.
A lot of scoring from that guy. Started out with 40 points to start out the season.
Day has it stripped. Hey, that's Jefferson Laura with the steal coming down the other end. Well, I thought Dugas was going to shoot it. Instead, he'll drive to the paint, kick it outside to Watson. 4-3. It's 20-8. Timeout, Anna Maria.
Yeah, you got to collect yourself after something like that. They just stretched the lead to 12. It's 20-8 right now. You got to stop the bleeding before the game just gets out of hand.
Let's go back to that transition 3 if we can. You can see Dugas thought about it, kicked it out. Boy, nothing but net there, Jeff.
No, he's automatic right now. That's 3 for 3 from deep.
So again, we are here at Albertus Magnus College. Frank Rossi, Jeff Franson, the winner automatically goes to that NCAA Division III men's basketball tournament. We hope to actually catch some games with you for the next couple of weeks before Turner Sports will take over down in Salem, Virginia, as they have the rights to the Division III men's basketball tournament. But often they don't cover the earlier round games. The schools will handle it. We try to aid the school. So like 2 years ago, the buzzer beater against William Patterson. And Jeff, why don't you tell the funny story that happened when we walked in today?
Right, so Frank was the one that called the game 2 years ago. And we walked in, we started setting our stuff up, and apparently one of the kids sitting in the lobby recognized Frank from a picture they have in their lobby. So
yeah, it's a picture basically of Byron Reeves who hit that three-pointer with no time on the clock from half court, and me in the background looking like a crazed lunatic.
Everybody's going crazy.
Well, we know I am a crazed lunatic, but that's a whole nother story.
We'll get to that later.
Yes, we will. We got plenty of game to go here with 14:04 left first half. 20-8 the score in favor of Albertus Magnus, but Anna Maria with the ball coming down the other end. We'll try to get your stats as the day goes on. Great job by Kristen in Sports Information here at Albertus Magnus. Mike Spinner, the athletic director, may join us as well at halftime, so stay tuned for that. And Corey Pryor almost has it stripped again. The freshman having a little ball control problem here this afternoon. Michael Gorman drives, kicks it out. It is blocked by Laura. Boy, the shot, Bristol thought he had an easy shot, but out of nowhere, Laura blocked it. Down the other end, a drive by Jackson, knocked out of bounds, stays Albertus Magnus ball.
Number 5 with the strip, got the ball out of bounds.
So again, it'll be, looks like, actually Jackson's back out and around, I believe. No, that's Jackson inbounding it. We were blocked out there for a second. Askew with a nice soft shot from the wing.
He's got a good touch for a big man.
And so it's 22-8, 13:20 left here, first half. Coming back around here, it's going to be Day. Day passing it over, and now back outside. A three-point shot is missed.
That's no good, but you gotta corral those rebounds. You gotta grab those when nobody's around.
Yeah, Corey Pryor shot the three, and he's the one that's just had some problems so far in this game. By the way, Brad Peterson, one of the leading scorers of the team, not with the team. I think has missed the entire tournament as the inbounds pass goes to Day, and he makes an easy basket to make it 22-10. But obviously, you want to have every weapon you can when you're playing a team like this. Laura underneath puts it in.
That looked like a foul with it, but he got the bucket to go.
Gets the two-pointer. It's 24-10. Can Anna Maria take this back to single digits by the 10 mark of the first half? That's my question.
That's a strip.
Yeah, and Corey Pryor has it stolen away there. Coming down the other end. Boy, he was held from behind. Darius Watson wants the intentional, but there won't be called. He will get 2 shots.
It was a good foul, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, in terms of not letting a shot go up.
He had the open lane. He was going in for the layup, and he just held him down so he couldn't get the shot up. Make him hit those free throws.
So as everybody collects themselves, Darius Watson will be shooting the free throws coming up here. And I don't know. Let's take a quick look at whether it was or was not worthy. Actually, we're not going to be able to see it, I don't believe.
I think in this situation, the clear path foul is not really in play because he's right under the basket.
So that first free throw is good. And Watson on the season. So look down the list here. It's way down there. He doesn't shoot many free throws. Only about 4 per game. He's 66% free throw shooter, but makes the first. And as for the second, he will miss the second off Laura. Rebound goes to Anna Maria.
Laura's got some butterfingers today.
Well, he does have points to his name, though, to go with it. So Laura's one of those players that's not going to play the full game. I'll tell you that much, just from memories of how he's played. But he's somebody you want on the court because of the size, especially defensively. You saw that strip earlier.
Absolutely.
Down the other end now, it's Day. Back out and around to Franklin. Franklin thinking about the three. Laura steps out. And so now he'll hand to Click, who will take the three off the back of the rim. Rebounded by
a brick.
Jackson.
Not even close on that one.
Jackson thought about the three himself, but passed it to Watson, who has it knocked out of bounds. Stays Albertus Magnus ball, 30 on the shot clock.
It's good defense poking that away. Number 25, Watson, he's been electric from 3 right now, so you don't want him to pull up at all.
To get here, Anna Maria, again, beat St. Joseph of Maine, the number 2 seed, and Johnson & Wales, number 3 seed, in reverse order there as the ball goes back to them.
Away.
Yes, he does. And it'll be Gorman back out around now. Click, driving, trying to find some space, but instead pass out to Day, who fakes the 3, pass it inside, and it'll be Javier Bristol.
Play. That was a great cut, hit the cutter, and he went up strong with it and made the play.
Now Laura's in trouble near the timeline, but does get rid of it before he went over and back. Feeds it to Askew. Askew being double teamed.
It's a hard foul.
They're saying he was going up with the shot, so it will be 2 shots coming up.
25-12. Albertus Magnus really has control of this game. You can tell that they're the more dominant team physically. They're moving the ball better, and I think they're comfortable here at home with their home crowd going crazy.
Out now. Actually, they said no shots on it. They changed the call, so it was an inbound foul situation. This one will be a shooting foul, though, as Darius Watson foul going up. I'm surprised they did change the call because it did look like Askew had the aggression to go up, and they just held him down, and then they changed the decision. They will still get the free throw, so now on this play.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to go up with it, but they did get him while he was on the ground. He never really made an attempt to go up with it, so I think they made the right call.
2 free throws again for Watson, who was 1 for 2 earlier on. 11:29 left here, first half, 25-12 in favor of Albertus Magnus. First free throw is up and good, 26-12.
Got our first substitution of the afternoon.
Yeah, Askew coming out. Kind of quiet in the points department right now, but, you know, he's the kind of guy, if you can have a 14-point lead and, you know, not have him in, let's say, in double figures to do it, then that's a pretty good day for Albertus Magnus.
He's throwing down a couple big dunks that got the crowd electrified. They say that dunks only were 2, but, you know, the energy it can bring can really set a team off. 2
free throws are good by Watson, by the way, so it's 27-12. And coming down the other end, Click wants to drive and put it up.
That's a nice move.
That might be the key right there to their game, I think, because inside, their outside has been working. Inside, they have to open it up a little bit to make it effective. But, you know, 27-14, you got to start mounting points. Can't get all back in one shot.
Yeah, defense, and you got to score.
The lack of defense there. It's Spencer Smith, who's in for Askew, puts it right up and in.
29 points in the first 9 minutes. That's a great start for the offense of Albertus Magnus.
Well, they score nearly 90 a game, basically on average, and they're going to say foul going up this time for Anna Maria, or are they going to go underneath with it? No, they're going to say stays on the ground.
Out of bounds underneath.
And the crowd wants to travel instead, but they're not getting it. The foul called against Spencer Smith. His first, team's first. Now back out. It's Anthony Click, trying to push off Darius Watson from him. It's instead of passed out to Gorman. Knocked away. And it will stay Anna Maria ball with 28 on the shot clock.
They're saying it's out on Albertus Magnus, but I didn't really see anybody get a hand on it.
We'll go right back to action, though. And it'll be Cagle. That's Franklin. I'll get my rosters right. Don't worry, Jeff.
Cagle's something different.
Day. It just leans in for a three. Somehow makes it.
Looked like he might have gotten hit.
He tried to draw the contact. Ball knocked out of bounds. Click was the aggressor there, so it stays Albertus Magnus ball. 29-17. 10:21 left here, first half. Coming back in with the ball is Watson. 12-point game. I was looking at that idea of going under 10 points in the lead at around the 10-minute mark. They still could do it if they can have a defensive stop here.
It's very early in the game. We've got over 30 minutes of play left, so nothing has been dictated yet.
Loris with a spin move. He'll be fouled by Montez Franklin. That'll be the 5th team foul in the first 9 minutes and 55 seconds here against Anna Maria. Now, Jefferson Loris, you might ask, Jefferson Laura, you might ask, how is his free throw shooting? He only gets to the line 2.7 times a game, and he shoots 62.7% when he does get to the line. Let's see how he does with that brace on his shoulder. I wonder how it affects his shooting arm.
Well, that's his left arm. That shouldn't affect his shooting too much. And from what I hear, he's recovered a lot. He's just holding on to that brace for safety so he doesn't injure it again. It shouldn't have too much of an effect on him today.
Trying to go 1 for 2 here. It looks like a lane violation there,
yeah,
and they do call it. Pretty clear.
They call it on, though.
I think number 25 for Anna Maria.
So we're going to get another shot here.
Javier Bristol. Very deliberate shot by Laura, and you don't get the cadence quite right, I don't think, from it.
Yeah, shooters like that, it can be tough to time your attempt for the rebound.
And the third opportunity goes in, and like the old NBA rule, they give you 3 to make 2 back in the old days.
That's right.
He'll get that to make it 30-17, a 13-point game with 10:05 remaining here. First half. Biggest lead of the game, I believe, was either 16 or 14, if memory serves here. So they have whittled down a little bit. Has Anna Maria with a chance to whittle down more. Click underneath.
Nice backdoor cut, but he can't finish.
No, he cannot. Spencer Smith collects it. Going down the other end now, it's Jackson around. That's Economopoulos who will pass it. Yes, I will mess up that name, don't worry. That's the longest name I've ever called in basketball. Economopoulos, excuse me.
We'll give him a nickname at some point.
Yeah, I tried it a couple years ago. It didn't work. That basket goes in, though, making it a 32-17 game. Anthony Click down the other end. He'll be guarded by Darius Watson. Click sends it around to Franklin. Franklin wants to drive, but instead pass back out to Click. Click driving into the paint, kicks it over. He may have thought better to take the shot because Day didn't know what to do with it, but Click has it back at the point. 10 seconds on the shot clock. 9. He'll have to pass it around. Hay drives, pass it inside. Easy shot for Franklin.
Nice missed. Inside, but he can't finish. You're going to have to make your layups if you want to win this game.
And down the other end, Jackson around to Economopoulos. Around now and inside. Askew back in the game, and he will miss the shot. Put back missed by Smith. Smith gets a second chance himself, a 3rd overall for the team, and makes it 34-17.
That's a good effort right there. Collecting those offensive rebounds and picking up those extra points.
Now driving down the other way. Click.
Throws it down with authority.
He says, hey, Ray, I can do it too.
Hand.
Timeout.
Let's take another look at that one.
Let's see what we can get on that. From behind, you can see this. Bang. And the crowd loves it there. There are quite a few Anna Maria fans here in attendance as we go back to live shots. And, you know, you will hear some noise for the stuff that they do. 34-19 your score here in the first half.
There's plenty of red over here right down in front of us. They've got the same initials, but we got the red versus the blue.
It's a patriotic matchup going on here.
Absolutely. We've got a few Askew fans over here in the Anna Maria section. Hopefully that's not going to become a problem.
Oh, you know, it's a friendly banter. The GNAC is actually, I don't want to call it the wrong thing here, but it's not viewed. You can tell by the way the committee is treating Albertus Magnus right now, the regional committee. It's not viewed as the most healthy of conferences for basketball play in terms of strength.
Not a lot of respect.
No, not. And Albertus Magnus is number 50 out of number 70 in strength of schedule in the region, but they only have one loss. And so this entire conference realizes what they're up against. So it's more playful banter than anything else going on between teams like these, because they do realize they all want the respect here. Askew with a shot partially blocked, but Smith there to collect and puts it in. Makes it 36-19.
Another follow. He stepped on the line. That could have been called for an out-of-bounds violation.
The referee was looking ahead, though, instead of back. As we go back to the top action here. And that's a block. And
3-0.
Yes, it is. It's Smith.
And he throws it down.
Number ones love to dunk it here on both sides. 38-19. It's a 19-point game. Timeout, Anna Maria. And you can see that transition. Bang.
Nice.
Want to see it one more time?
That's it.
I know you're an aficionado of these dunks.
I love replays.
Yeah, coming off that, you give and go down the court. Bang.
That was in the rookie game last night. He would have thrown it off the backboard to himself,
yeah,
to somebody else.
It was in the rookie game last night. There would have been no defense anywhere to be found, even though there was none in that play specifically. No. But they were trailing in this case, unlike last night.
Yeah, absolutely. They were at least giving it a little bit of an effort.
38-19. Albertus Magnus, the Falcons, in the lead, doubling up Anna Maria College. Trying to make a statement in a lot of ways is Albertus Magnus with a game like this. What do you think? I mean, let's say a team takes a 30-point lead or something like that. Do you just keep pouring it on to try to send a message to a regional committee, or do you call it off? If you're coaching and something like that were to happen later, how would you treat a game?
I believe that you should always play as hard as you can. I don't think you should do it to run up the score. I think you should play hard because that's the right way to play a game. The other team's got defense. They can stop you if they can, but I think it's up to you to just keep scoring, keep running your offense, and never let up, because that's sometimes how you can get out of whack as a team, and you don't want to do that. You want to go into the tournament firing on all cylinders, everybody feeling good, and always playing hard.
And they really seem to be actually firing on all cylinders, as you're saying here.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we are back to action. Now, granted, we're not counting Anna Maria out, but this is just a hypothetical question talking about just looking ahead and everything that does happen with the committee and whatnot. But Anna Maria is still healthy in this game. They looked like they were down and out in the St. Joe's game the other night, and it wasn't to be for St. Joe's. They lost by 1. This ball knocked away and taken down by Spencer Smith. Passing it down, Dugas tries to find Jackson, but it's going to be out of bounds. And it'll be controlled now by Anna Maria College. The AMCATS with the ball.
Basketball is a game of runs a lot of times. So even though they're down by 19 right now, there's still 27 and a half minutes left. And if they get on a run, they start hitting some shots, you know, they can make some things happen.
So here we go. It is going to be number 1, Anthony Click, putting up a 3, missing it out the front of the rim.
That's not going to cut it.
Rebound to Jackson. Jackson coming down the other end. He'll face off against Day. Sends it to the corner. Smith wheeling and dealing around and getting the basket. 40-19, a 21-point lead, largest of the game with 7 minutes left here first half. The Falcons with a huge lead. And a foul called on the baseline, non-shooting. It's only the second team foul. Actually, let's show you that team foul situation if I can for a moment here. And as you can see, it's 5-2. 5 for Anna Maria, 2 for the other team.
Anna Maria having a tough time stopping Albertus Magnus defensively, so they're resorting to fouls a little bit.
And it'll be Gorman around now to Pryor, down low, and the Click trying to find a little room, couldn't outside to Michael Gorman, missing the 3, and it's going to be rebounded by Smith. Smith having a whale of a game already here. Dugas back to Smith. Dugas will run the point. And their coach now saying, okay, you know, let's think about how we're playing offense here. Let's play offense. Let's not just keep running to the basket every time. Dugas around to Kononopoulos. Knocked away. Askew was going to go up with it. Yes, it is. And it's going to be taken down the other way. But stolen.
He turns it over.
Yeah, Askew with that steal.
Got to take good care of that ball.
Mitch Oliver wants a timeout, coach for Albertus Magnus, and they will call one. Well, they try to call one.
That didn't work.
The referee didn't acknowledge it, so they just continue instead.
Throw an alley-oop, and he throws it down. All right, forget timeouts. Let's just throw alley-oops.
And Askew with that alley-oop. And let's see if there's a timeout coming from the other end. They've used quite a few timeouts already. Remember, it's a carryover effect here in college. And so coming down the other end, we will keep with play here. Day puts it up, misses it. And Dugas coming down the other end. Pass it over to Watson. Watson driving a 23-point lead, and he'll try to go up with a shot, it looked like, and is fouled. 16 foul against Anna Maria. And it's against number 5, Hugh Day, his second.
Getting out to a lead in a championship game is important because it makes your team feel more comfortable, confident, and relaxed, and it makes the other team start to feel nervous. And when they get tight, they stop moving the ball right. It makes it harder to shoot, and it makes it harder for them to score.
They're going to say inbound situation again. Takes a lot to draw a shooting foul around here, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
And the inbound by Dugas. He's looking, and will feed it inside to Laura, who puts it in.
Yeah, he's double teamed, but they didn't seem to have any sort of an effect on him. He's just doing what he wants.
Timeout, Anna Maria. This got to be, I think, their third or fourth of the half. They've already used the use it or lose it 20. And so now I think they only have 2 or 3 timeouts left in the second half, but they have to do something. The game's getting out of control.
Absolutely.
It's a 25-point game.
25. Head coach Sean Conrad looking upset. Held himself back from slamming that ball, but he is not happy with his team's performance right now. They need to play some defense. They need to man up.
Later this evening, actually, Jody King, Dr. Jody King, who is head coach of Hostos Community College, and they got some games left, but they had their practice this morning, so he's going to join me as we do the Skyline Men's Championship down in Long Island. Yes, folks, I am in New Haven, Connecticut right now, and I will be driving down the I-95 corridor and then some to get back to do the Skyline Men's Championship. 8 p.m. start time. They did adjust it so that we could broadcast it in full. So it's an 8 p.m. start time here on D3Hoops.com on Ustream.tv. Check D3Hoops.com for the link, as it is different from the current link you're watching right now if you have an interest in that game.
Yeah, Frank's cruising in his Crown Vic cross state line.
Yes, thanks to the rental car company, who we won't name here. And it's a 25-point deficit for Anna Maria as they are back to action. And it fed inside. It's going to be number 1, Anthony Click, feeding it around to Belliard, excuse me. Belliard in the game after Day collected his second foul.
Better ball movement there. When you get down, sometimes you just start throwing up shots. You really have to run your offense and just stick with the game plan.
Zach Dugas called for his first foul, 3rd for the team. It's an out-of-bounds situation, though. New 35-second clock, though, as Click takes the ball from the inbound pass. 5:19 left on the game clock, 30 on the shot clock, as it will be number 12, Michael Gorman. And he'll send a Click. Yeah, I had to pause there to see what the call was going to be myself, as Askew tried to step in and take the charge, but they'll say it's a personal foul against Askew. Only the 4th against the team, first against Askew.
Yeah, it looked like he jumped in front of the offensive player there.
So, again, 25-point lead, trying to cut into it. Back into Belliard. Belliard around the Click, 30 on the shot clock. Open look there for Gorman temporarily, but he'll have to drive and put it up instead, and can't get it to go in. Boy, there must be reverse magnets on that rim, the way things have been popping out on him. Askew had the rebound, going across court. And Kononopoulos makes the 3.
Stretches the lead to 28.
Takes me the entire 3-point shot to say his name, so at least he made it.
That's right.
4:43 left here on a 28-point game, 47-19. Boy, Bristol had a very open look for 3. Laura wasn't even close to him.
Rejected.
Yeah, Laura with that block. Down the other way, it is Watson feeding it to Askew. Puts it up off the front of the rim. Rebounded by number 12, Michael Gorman. Gorman crossing the timeline and pulls back. 29 on the shot clock. Click wants to drive, puts it up from the line. No, actually, pass it inside, back out and around to the right side for 3.
That's good.
Corey Pryor, who's had really an atrocious game up to that point, makes the 3 and makes up for it. Timeout, Albertus Magnus. 25-point game with 4:12 left here, first half.
That's good passing by Anna Maria. If they keep moving the ball like that and hitting open shots, they have a chance to claw their way back. They still have the whole second half. 24 minutes left in this game. There's plenty that they can do.
So as we're transitioning here again, reminder, it's 47-22, 4:12 left here in the first half. Halftime, we'll be talking to Mike Spinner, who is the athletic director here for the last couple of years at Albertus Magnus. Talk about the shot. Byron Reeves, we wish he could be here, but he's actually coaching today. He is a graduate assistant coach at Bridgeport down the road from here. And here's a picture, as Jeff said, in the hallway of that absolute bonanza of a buzzer beater that we saw 2 years ago at William Patterson with me in the background. And it is a shot that they'll always remember here because it looks like it really did put this program on the map in a lot of ways. And we'll talk about that during halftime with the athletic director, Spinner. We are back to action here. And it's going to be out to number 50. Mike Sweeney in for the first time today. And he's in the center of your screen right now. And back around to Watson. Watson ask you kind of out of position right now. Back to Watson for three off the back of the rim. Rebound taken down by Anna Maria. Coming down the other end. It's going to be Belliard. Belliard around to the left side now to Click. Click. Being guarded by Sweeney. Wants to take the three. Does and makes it. And they're trying to whittle it down here. Back down to 22 points now.
Took that shot with good rhythm. Went up with it, followed through.
Now down the other end. It's going to be Dugas. Out to Economopoulos. And he'll make a three. They called a three. I thought it's what may have been a line. It was not. And so it's 50-25. 50 points in 16 and a half minutes.
It's a lot of offense right now.
They are doubling them up still. 50-25 in a championship game. This is one for the ages if they can keep this up, I'll tell you.
Anna Maria just can't stop Albertus Magnus.
Click will be called for the travel. And so it is Albertus Magnus ball with 2:57 left. Do you start trying to run down the clock a little bit here in the half and take a nice 20-point lead if you can into halftime, or do you continue to put it on full bearing?
I think you can control the clock a little bit, move the ball around, wear their defense down, make them shuffle their feet, and just possess the ball as much as possible. If you can keep the ball out of the other team's hands, they can't score.
So it's Watson setting it down and around now to Askew, but he couldn't cleanly collect the pass. So pass inside to Sweeney, who's called for the charge. Going down the other way, 15 foul against Albertus Magnus, first against Sweeney. And so it goes the other way. 25-point game. They've gotten it to 22, don't forget, until the Economopoulos three-pointer.
They're going to have to take advantage of some of these mistakes.
Gorman is facing off against Sweeney right now. They check that as Dugas. He's against. Around now. And thinking about it was Belliard. Belliard drives just inside the paint. Has it knocked away by Watson.
Stolen.
Coming down the other way. He almost carries it there. And it's collected by Economopoulos. Back around to Dugas. Dugas will...
Pulls it out.
Yeah, he'll run the point here. 25-24 in the shot clock. Watson back around. Economopoulos. Back out to Dugas. Looking for instructions from Mitch Oliver. Will drive now with 12 in the shot clock. He's fouled from behind, puts a shot up, misses it. 7th team foul, but it's a shooting foul nonetheless here. And let's see who they call that one against. It's against number 12, Michael Gorman, his first.
That was a nice drive. Albertus Magnus controlling the time, controlling the ball. Just keep moving the ball. Look for your open shots. No reason to force it. You've got the big 25-point lead. Dugas
only shoots 1.6 free throws per game, but he's an 81% free throw shooter, makes the first. And so we will see the second coming up here, back to 26. The largest lead, if memory serves, was 27 for Albertus Magnus. Second one up and in.
Askew's probably out for the half. Give him some rest.
I got to think so, actually. Why put him back in? Again, you're doing just as well without him on the court so far today. You want full team effort here.
Absolutely. Let some guys get a chance to get their feet wet at the end of the half so that they can make some contributions in the second half.
Inside Click has it knocked away, but it will stay Anna Maria ball. Jackson knocks it out of bounds. 1:36 remaining on the game clock, 18 on the shot clock. Again, this is a presentation of D3Hoops.com on Ustream.tv. We welcome you. I guess we have around or over 100 viewers right now, and you must be dedicated fans on a 27-point game nonetheless. But this team, Albertus Magnus, that is, as they steal away, yes, it's Jackson with it, coming down the other end. Thinking about driving, coming back out with it, looking at the clock and thinking the better of it, wants to look at the coach for some offensive suggestions. And it's going to be Dugas now controlling near the sideline. He will be fouled, and it's going to be a 1-on-1 situation as that's the 8th team foul.
This is where those early fouls are catching up to them.
Bristol, I believe, was called for the foul. His 3rd foul, and they need him on the floor. He's one of the contributors to this team.
Absolutely. They need some scores. They need a lot of input, a lot of scoring in the second half to have a chance at this thing.
Yeah, Bristol averages each game, I believe, if I'm reading correctly here, 10 points per game. You need those 10 points. He hasn't gotten those 10 points yet today.
Need more than that.
Well, I'm the master of the obvious, and you're even the master of more obvious.
Is there a Jeremy Lin sitting on the bench over there?
I don't think so. But if there is, now might be the time to pull him out because it's a 29-point game. 54-25. The number 1 seed leading the number 6 seed here in the GNAC championship game. Inside, passes off. And Daniel Bellier could not reel it in.
That's a nice look. Good pass underneath, but he couldn't handle it.
We may see the left digit of the scoreboard utilized on one side of the scoreboard this afternoon if this keeps up. And that's the one thing that Anna Maria has to prevent. There's no way they're going to score 75 in the second half.
It's unlikely.
So they're going to have to hold Albertus Magnus to 30 or less in the second half and play catch-up that way. That's what's in front of them in the second half. There's no secret here.
Tough challenge to overcome right now.
Jackson near the timeline with 9 on the shot clock, 38 on the game clock. This is the first half, folks, and that score is correct. And Jackson just tries to scoop one up as the time is running out on the shot clock. Shot clock is off now as Anna Maria controls. Click wants to drive, though. Sends it outside, now around, and that is number 20 again. Pryor missing this time. Rebound sent over to Jackson, back to Sweeney. Call for his second charge.
Yeah.
6th team foul, second on Sweeney. Can't catch a break, he's thinking to himself.
Well, he's not really looking at where he's going. He's just kind of getting excited and in the moment a little bit, and he just went right into the contact.
And so it will come the other way with 14 on the game clock. 10 seconds. Crossing the timeline with no urgency is Click here, 7-6. You got to start your offense here. He does, but he'll have to take a long 3, miss it. Here comes a buzzer beater, shall I say it. Attempt by Dugas, just a little bit off.
No, didn't get that off.
Byron Reeves has got to teach him better than that.
It's a big half by Albertus Magnus.
There it is in big print for you, folks. The scoreboard you're looking at is 54-25 in favor of Albertus Magnus. The Falcons leading the AMCATS in this big game. It's a championship
game. Absolutely. And Albertus Magnus has really risen to the occasion, and they came out strong, and they just kept pouring it on. And now they've got the 54-25 lead going into the half. They should feel really good about their performance this far.
So we were going to take a break here, folks, in a second. But, Jeff, why don't you kind of give your overall feeling right now? If you were a coach of Anna Maria, what would you be saying in the locker room? What would you be doing to try to overcome this?
Well, I mean, I think there's only one thing you can do. You got to go out there, beginning of the second half, and just start pressing. You got to really turn up the intensity on the defense. You got to try to force turnovers, and when you force those turnovers, you have to capitalize on them. You have to knock that lead down as quickly as you can. You have to play as a team. You have to believe that you can come back. It's happened before. And it's pretty steep to overcome, but you never know. Play hard, score baskets, play defense.
I know our friend Jody King's watching right now, so Jody, you'll want to stay tuned. As you know, the guy that will be coming up at halftime, Mike Spinner, athletic director of Albertus Magnus. But first, we're going to take a break here. We're going to catch our breaths after a frenetic pace in this first half. Jeff Franson next to me, Frank Rossi. We'll be back coming up here on D3Hoops.com on Ustream.tv. It's halftime. got it. In fact, I want to try to get our camera lady to. Jeff, can you let her know downstairs to try to take some shots of us during the interview? Yeah. No, just somebody try to go out enough to zoom into us.
Interesting half.
I had a funny feeling this could happen, but
I didn't think it was going to be like, we're such a second half team. If you look at our scores this year, we don't start fast. This was...
you can't hit 100 because they're not scoring 75, but let's put it that way, you're never going to come back.
They'll have a plan. What did we do, burn 5 timeouts though?
4 or 5.
I mean, that's what's going to hurt if they can come
You burn
back.
the user to lose it at least 3 more, maybe a 4th line could stop.
But if they make it a game, he's not going to have much to go with.
Yeah, they'll be tired, put it that way. Step over here with me a little bit. We're gonna Okay, here we go. You ready? Hey folks, I'm Frank Rossi, and this is not Jeff Franson, who will be back upstairs with me in a little bit, but this is Mike Spinner, Athletic Director for Albertus Magnus College since last year, I believe, or since last school year. When did you officially start? Let's ask you.
September 1st, 2010, the first day of classes. It was, hi, nice to meet you, let's go watch some soccer.
Now, we got a friend who's part of your past, I think, in some way, shape, or form, listening and watching right now, Jody King, actually. I know you had some time in a yeshiva at one point in time. What else did you do? Tell us about your pathway to becoming an athletic director at Albertus Magnus.
Sure, I started off as a lacrosse coach, which in the Northeast is probably the hottest sport. I was at the College of Mount St. Vincent, Skyline Conference School in Riverdale. I was a head women's lacrosse coach and the assistant athletic director. Made the decision that I really wanted administration. So when the associate AD position at Yeshiva University opened, I took that. 2 years there, I became the athletic director at the College of Notre Dame of Maryland down in Baltimore. Spent a year and a half there and wanted to move back to the Northeast. I'm from New York City. So this job opened, and I was very lucky enough to be hired at Albertus.
And welcome. You've done a great job here from what everybody says. And you've already got plans, I could tell. We were talking about the facility, which I think is a great little facility, to be honest with you. It's one of those true gymnasiums, and you guys have been great with us, so we have no complaints at all. But you already have some plans and ideas, it sounds like, what you want to do to make it more modernized, I guess, or more a real facility, I think might be the words you used earlier. But what do you see happening here in terms of athletics at Albertus Magnus?
Well, we've already begun to upgrade our facilities. As you pull on campus today, we opened up a turf field this summer. We added men's and women's lacrosse. So we are in the process of kind of taking a closer look at our facilities and trying to upgrade them. With the success of our basketball programs, now our volleyball program is really men's and women's are both really starting to get better. I think it's time to take a closer look at this gym itself because so many people, as you can see today, are here. I want to get new bleachers because I don't know if our viewers can see it, but our bleachers don't quite go to length of the gym. And I just want to get the floor repainted. The logo that you see up on the back wall is our new logo. The logo on the floor looks more like a turkey than a falcon to me. So Thanksgiving time we look very seasonal, but for the rest of the year it's a bit difficult. And then I also want a new sound system too, one you put up on the ceiling so everyone can kind of hear what's going on, because the atmosphere here I put up against any gym in Division III athletics.
Hey, we can barely hear ourselves here, I'll be honest with you, so which is great. We have no complaints about that. We'll make our audio work at the end of the day. But 2 years ago, I was fortunate enough, as there's a picture in the hallway we've been talking about, Byron Reeves. I got to call the game between William Patterson and Albertus Magnus. We estimate, we know that Patterson was a 1 seed pretty much. We estimate that Magnus was about, or Albertus was about a 14 seed or thereabouts, and they pull out the impossible before your time, but you know all about it, and you get to reap some of the benefits, I guess, of that. Tell us what a scenario like that with 125,000 YouTube hits, SportsCenter, NBCSports.com, picking up that shot. What did it do for Albertus Magnus Athletics? And, you know, what words have you had for Byron Reeves since that point?
Well, I tell Byron all the time that's the only meaningful thing he's ever done in his life, but it's just a joke. What viewers of that shot don't see is what a great kid Byron is.
Yes.
He is an all-American kid. He is one of my favorite people in the world. He can't be here today because he's a college basketball coach now at the University of Bridgeport, and they have a game today. But what that did for our community was exactly what this community has done for me. You set foot on this campus and you think to yourself, where has this place been? It is a beautiful campus.
It is.
It is a perfect location. The academics are spectacular. So for one moment in time, the whole Division III athletic world said, what is Albertus Magnus? Where is it? And for us, our enrollment is great right now. Is it directly because someone saw Byron Reeves hit a shot? I don't think so. But one of my favorite business terms with colleges is passive recruiting.
Yeah,
what is your school doing that the admissions department is not doing to get students interested? And that moment alone, I think, upped the passive recruiting for the college exponentially. Now we added a turf field. We added men's and women's lacrosse. So I think that was a starting point for an understanding here that athletics can help with a growth spurt, and we're there. We're growing. We're getting bigger. Students are more interested than ever before. And you know, you're on campus now. Can you tell me you wouldn't want to go to school here if you set foot on this campus?
It's a beautiful, it's, you know, New Haven is an urban area, but this is kind of set away from that urban-esque feel to it. And that's what makes this a very good school. In fact, in case people are wondering, Southern Connecticut is down the street, about a mile or so down the road. New Haven, a very academic area, as folks from around here do know. And here's one more example of it. I know the local newscasts have been hitting you guys with this streak. You guys, you being Albertus Magnus Falcons, hold, and I did the calculation the other night to make sure of this, with hope, you are tied for the longest winning streak in men's basketball in any division right now in the NCAA at 21, possibly 22, and both you and Hope played today, so you could both go to 22. But your team couldn't miss, or could have missed, without a win today. What is your thoughts about that kind of treatment, that kind of respect issue?
You know what, and I think Division III athletics is the best area of athletics in the NCAA. However, with that said, it's almost unfair with the regional ranking system, because for us to be a highly regional ranked team, or any school in the GNAC, for us to get up there in terms of regional rankings, we have to play a much stronger non-conference schedule, potentially against the NCACs and the Little East schools. But if we go up against them, we're more likely to lose, and then we won't be regional ranked anyway. So it's a catch-22, because the simple fact of the matter is the NCACs don't want to play us. They don't want to lose to a 600-student school, and I don't blame them. They're a different mentality than we are. So basically scheduling for you, and I've heard this on Hoopsville, Dave McHugh's program before, scheduling can be extremely tough for schools that are in that mid-range scenario. Absolutely, it can be, because you have to play the big boys to get regionally ranked, but what if they don't want to play you? And if the next CACs decided to only play the Little East non-conference, then the rest of New England is in a lot of trouble for an at-large bid. You know, I'm hoping we maintain this lead in the second half, but if we don't, we have proven this year we're one of the best teams, I think, in the country, and we belong in the NCAA tournament, win or lose. And it'd be unfortunate because of something out of our control like scheduling if we didn't have that opportunity.
Well, I will let you get back to what you do here, and that's be athletic director, but we appreciate you joining us. Any words for Jody King out there, who's joining me tonight at 8 o'clock at Farmingdale State?
Jody blew it by not being here today. I'm very upset with Jody, but...
he had to practice and maintain. I will be his excuse on that.
On a more serious note, I'm thrilled that Jody's back in coaching. He's at a great spot, and I hope nothing but the best of success for him. And for you guys at D3Hoops.com and Pat Coleman, you're welcome in this gym any day of the week. We're happy to have you.
And Dave McHugh, he's instrumental in getting you guys the coverage as well. And so we thank you. It's been great so far today. You guys, your team leads by 29 points. We'll come back for the second half in just a few moments. So stay tuned here on D3Hoops.com on Ustream.tv. Thank you very much. Well done. Stats? We have no stats. Stats for tonight. Today's game. Yeah. We run down and ask. And we are back here to start the second half. Albertus Magnus leading Anna Maria, who has the ball. They are in red, Anna Maria, 54-25. Ball was taken back. They're going to say no over and back, even though he collected in front of the line. And so play continues here for Anna Maria with 15 on the shot clock. Going down, Gorman backs out. Thought of going into the paint, but didn't. Hugh Day does go into the paint, puts it up and misses it. Rebound by Askew.
Anna Maria is going to have to really step it up and take charge at the beginning of the half, or it's all over.
And they're going to say a foul on the ground. Askew will not get shots off this as we start fresh with 0 fouls apiece, but now it's 1 foul against Anna Maria, but the third for Hugh Day, that's big. I mean, any comeback attempt, you need Day to be on that floor because of his leadership on this team.
You need your top players to perform.
And the ball being kicked around out of bounds goes to Anna Maria. Still a 29-point game. That's how we started the half with 41 seconds gone here. Anna Maria, again, has to realize you can't get it all in one shot, so you got to chip away at this. And how will you do it? Inside or outside if you're a coach?
You got to go inside, outside. Switch it up. You got to keep changing things. But you got to start now. You got to start chipping away and go on a big run.
Franklin tried to start that run, but it spins off the rim. Rebound comes the other way with our shot. Jackson to Dugas. The 17-footer from the right side is good. 56-25.
31-point lead right now.
They had the same scenario basically on Thursday night. And they're just kind of pouring it on here, as they say, as Askew steals the ball away. The interior pass went astray. Dugas with the ball now. Coming down the other end. Yeah, they scored a little deceiving the other night, 92-70 against LaSalle. It was a 30-plus point game in the second half for most of it. And there's Askew putting it up and in, 58-25. How can you not respect this team if you're the committee after a performance, if this continues like this?
I think you have to. I think that Albertus Magnus is kind of taking it into their own hands.
Well, and there's a steal to somebody else's hands. Jackson puts it up and in, 60-25.
I think that they're going to be able to prove themselves in the tournament. If they're worthy, they're going to show it when they get there.
Gorman to Franklin. Franklin thought about that three, but drives down the baseline, left side, kicks it back out, but it's stolen by our shot, Jackson. Jackson driving, puts it up and in.
37-point lead. This is
an 8-0 run to start the half after you're up by 29 at halftime. And a standing ovation right now by the Albertus Magnus faithful.
Albertus Magnus crowd is loving it, and the Anna Maria crowd is dead silent right now.
Let's go back to that last play. And a nice little move there by Jackson to get that ball to go in.
Nice lefty layup there.
Yes, sir. And go back here to see the fans. The fan support pretty big for both teams. And you can see Anna Maria talking it over right now. And I was talking to their head coach earlier, Sean Conrad.
If you're the head coach right now, there's not a whole lot you could say. When you're in halftime, you're trying to rally them, trying to get them off to a good start in the second half, and then they give up 8 points out of the gate, and you just start feeling a little bit desperate. You start feeling like it's not going to happen. It's not your day. And it doesn't look like it is Anna Maria's day. This is Albertus Magnus' day from the beginning.
You know, we have Dave McHugh making a point to me in the background, our friend from Hoopsville, again, Sunday and Monday this week on d3hoops.com. You'll want to listen to that to hear about the selection process and the pairings Sunday and Monday, respectively. Then he makes a point, hey, if they win, that being Albertus Magnus, it doesn't matter, does it? You know, the respect to the committee, per se. I disagree. Your placement matters, too, in that committee, or in that situation. Out of bounds will go to Albertus Magnus. Your placement matters a lot. They don't want to be in the 1 versus 14 again. They want a chance. They won't host, obviously, but they want a mid-range setup, a mid-range scenario. And granted, geography has a lot to do with how the pairings are made. That's why it isn't 1 versus 16. Why we don't see the seedings. But at the same time, you want to go 2-3 deep in the tournament if you can, if not more.
Absolutely. When you get a better seed, you play a weaker team. The weaker teams that you play, the easier it is to win. So absolutely, seeding and the respect that they get, it's going to be important.
That was Laura making a 39-point game down the other end. Boy, everything's just falling short. This is a team that now it just feels the air has come out. You can tell. Not the same pop on any shot really going on here for Anna Maria.
It's starting to look like Mount Everest that they're going to have to climb to come back for this one.
Coming inside, Laura on the baseline, thinks about turning. Instead gives it Askew, who going up, I want to say again, but we haven't seen that actually transpire.
No. Let's
see. They are going to say 2 free throws coming up here. Foul against number 44, Contez Franklin. His 3rd, team's 2nd. Askew at the free throw stripe. Again, this is that part of the game he wants to improve on. If they are going to make a tournament run here, 66.3% coming in. I believe 1 for 2 this afternoon. And the first one misses.
Yeah, there's really no excuse. If you're as good a scorer as he is, if you've got the kind of touch that he is, that just probably means that he's not taking enough free throws in practice. He's not working on it enough. You got to get yourself to the line and get up over 70%, 80%, if you want to really make a difference in this tournament.
Let's take a look from behind on this shot to see how he shoots it. He shoots it well there. So he makes it a 40-point game. And I will tell you right now that in my history of calling basketball, this basically was only matched by what DeSales did to Albertus Magnus the night after they did the buzzer beater. This is a big rout going on here right now. In a championship game, no less. Javier Bristol, who has 3 fouls, puts it up, can't get it to fall.
It's been a mismatch from the beginning. Anna Maria just doesn't have the firepower defensively to stop the size and the skill of Albertus Magnus. They came out firing, and they've just kept pouring it on all afternoon.
Capacity crowd here. Some people may have filtered out as it's turned a little ugly in the scoreboard, but pretty much everybody's still in their seats. And that first free throw misses. Bristol trying to will it in and just couldn't get it there. Just got our first half stats as we are quite far away from the scorer's table. And when you look at shooting percentage in the first half, 74.1%.
20 for 27 from the field for Albertus Magnus. That is huge.
And some raucous applause from some sarcastic Albertus Magnus fans on the made free throw. No need for that here. Come on now, win classy. You want to play with the big boys, win classy like the big boys do. 39-point game. Coming down the other way, shot put up, partially blocked there. Darius Watson misses badly. In a 39-point game prior, this freshman drives to the left side of the baseline, tries to kick it to somebody, anybody, and he does find Michael Gorman, and Gorman will be fouled going up.
Looked like a pretty good block, but the refs called a foul on that one. Going to send him to the line. He's going to take 2 shots here.
Let's see that entire play, how it did transpire from this angle, and you can see as the ball goes back to him, he kind of gets caught in Bermuda Triangle land there, kicks it out, and there is the foul. Back to the free throw live action here. Gorman at the line. He will make the first. Michael Gorman is a 78.6% free throw shooter, but only gets the line about once per game overall. 38-point game, 15:53 remaining here in the second half. Again at 8 p.m. as he makes the second. The Skyline Men's Championship. The number 1 seed got ousted the other night by Purchase, and they will be playing at Farmingdale State, the number 2 seed. You'll want to watch that game. It will be interesting. And could somebody's bubble get burst because of that ousting of, I believe it was St. Joseph's of Long Island the other night. The number 1 seed, as powerful shot goes in, 67-28. Big question there. It's possible that the Skyline could get 2 teams in, but we don't know yet. A lot will depend on other conferences and what happens. Inside shot there by Bristol. I told you, the 10 points a game, they needed him to really get that and then some, and he's trying to contribute now, but 3 fouls this afternoon will restrain him slightly.
Might be too little, too late, though.
We'll see. 67-30 with 15 minutes left. It's not impossible, but their defense has to start appearing here. And right there, try to knock it away. Little things like that could start turning games around if you can get it to go your way. I mean, that's in some ways, it was an offense for Albertus Magnus that really impressed everybody in that first half. The defense really did step up in a big way at times in that first half.
Yeah, they were playing hard defense. The only thing was they would get the stops, and then they wouldn't get those rebounds. So there were a lot of offensive rebounds from Anna Maria, which got them second chance points.
Well, here's a chance now for Anna Maria on the defensive board. Coming down is Day. Day is going to put it up and in. It's a 35-point game. Timeout. Mitch Oliver seeing enough of this. A 5-point run or spurt, basically, by Anna Maria, and he wants to put a stop to it right here, right now.
Yeah, we've got a game right here where it seems like it's pretty much out of hand. But we've got a lot of time on the clock, and
there's Day. Just put it. You know what? He's got the pep in his step still.
Yeah, you got to have somebody with that desire. I mean, you're in the championship game. Sometimes most people only get to a situation like this once in their life, and you've got to take advantage of it. Even if it looks like it's a desperate time, when there's still time on the clock, you got to play hard and you got to try to win.
So again, I mean, first half, 74.1%, 20 for 27 in field goal. 3-point shooting, 83.3% for Albertus Magnus.
5 for 6, yeah.
Yeah, and free throws, 75%. But again, they're tailing off a little bit again. That's free throws in the second half. First half, Anna Maria never got to the free throw line.
Yeah, that's an unbelievable stat.
5 for 13 for 3, and overall field goal percentage is lower than their 3-point shooting percentage, 10 for 28.
These numbers are just dominating.
But things are turning slightly here as we were at 29 at halftime, got up to 40 on a spurt. Now we're back to 35. And can Albertus Magnus repel this mini run we're seeing by the AMCATS? Full court press here, first time this afternoon. Sweeney having trouble getting rid of it, but he finds Jackson down the other end. Jackson pulls back smartly. Now we'll drive to the point. Send it over to Smith back in the game. On the Dugas, back to Jackson now in the right corner. 18 on the shot clock. Tries to feed inside Sweeney. Sweeney is roped from behind by Bristol. So no shots coming up, but that's a third-team foul, and Bristol's 4th foul, if my count is correct, and it is.
Yeah, it's a good thing that that Anna Maria has finally implemented the press. If they can force some turnovers with that, get
nearly
some hustle.
did, yeah. The final outlet was Jackson there. They almost got a 10-second count otherwise. Sweeney has it knocked away.
Turnover.
Yes, it is, and it's come down the other end. McKee with that, or excuse me, Click with that turnover, and give us it to Day for the easy put-in, 33 points.
Keep that up the rest of the afternoon, and maybe you've got a chance.
Sweeney gives it to a tripping Jackson. Jackson steps out of bounds. It should be AMCAT ball. Mitch Oliver doesn't want to give the ball back, though, himself. Coach, you have to give it back, Coach. He's looking a little upset there, as you can see on your screen right now.
He's barking at his players, up by 33.
Actually, they're going to say it is last touch by the AMCATS. I'm a little surprised by that. So it will remain Falcon ball. Kananopoulos back in the game. And it's going to be Dugas with 15 on shot clock. Looking for help in no man's land. Finds Jackson down the left corner. 10 on the shot clock. 13:30 on the game clock. 7 seconds. 6-5. And he will slip and lose the ball, does Jackson. Coming down the other end. Click will stop and pop. 4-2.
There we go. Now we're
31.
A little bit of action coming out of Anna Maria.
9-point turnaround here. 2 minutes it's taken for that. Remember, we're looking at around 40 at the 15:30 mark. Ball knocked away.
Turnover.
It's Click this time, giving it over to Day. Day wants to kick it out or take it himself outside the line. Now drive back inside, puts it up. He's fouled. They'll give free throws.
There we go. This is exactly what they need. They're getting turnovers. They're playing defense, and they're going down and they're converting. You got to take advantage of those mistakes. You got to keep playing hard. You got to keep hustling, and you got to hope that that Albertus Magnus is going to
start getting sloppy like they have been.
Yeah. And
third foul against number 1, Spencer Smith. That's a big foul situation because Smith in the first half, we're looking at a player who had a quiet, what I would call, 10 points. I just want to make sure I had that right. Mm-hmm. But defensively, he played outstanding in that first half. You don't want to lose him, and yet he has to come out, and so does Sweeney in this situation.
Yeah, 5 for 6 in the first half for Smith. 10 points.
31-point game here. Day missed his first and makes the second. He's a 69% free throw shooter. They've shaven it back to 30 points. It was 40. It started the half at 29, though. If you want to talk about momentum plays, if they can get it back under that halftime deficit, you're at least starting to talk now. Askew pushed from behind, no shot on the floor. 4th team foul against Anna Maria, stays on the floor. And that foul's against number 1, Anthony Click, only his first for Anna Maria.
Anna Maria, they're at base camp maybe right now with their ascent up to the top of the mountain.
Let's see what happens here. Askew driving, puts it up. Oh, in and out.
In and out.
Boy, that rim, it seems like both teams having trouble getting balls to fall. Click now down the other way, down by 30. That's knocked away, gets it back, though, outside the stripe. 27 on the shot clock now. McKee in the game for the first time. Starts to drive, has it taken away. Dugas pushing it to Askew. Askew driving, finger roll in. Now, one thing that we didn't know, as it's a 32-point game, the number of timeouts taken by Anna Maria in the first half was astounding. We believe they took 4 timeouts.
What does that leave them with now?
After they use it or lose it and everything else, I think they only had 3 coming into this half. Shot blocked, but Bristol gets it back, puts it up and in. It's back to 30. 12 minutes, 3 seconds remaining here, second half. They have to get this to 20 by around the 9-minute mark to still have a chance, to be honest here. Askew, though, says no, none of that. 32-point game, 71-39.
It's time for Albertus Magnus to close the door.
The other end, though, clicks.
And they're not doing it.
Now, Econopolis, boy, they're walking down the other end of the court right now as Albertus Magnus. They're tired, and Mitch Oliver might want to consider a timeout to A, talk to his team, and B, get them a rest here. Dugas facing against McGee right now to Jackson atop the key. Looking to send it to Econopolis just inside the 3-point stripe, up and out. Laura, though, tries to put it back. He's fouled going up. Day will be called for the 4th foul against him.
Seems like there's a lid on the basket on this end.
We'll see on these free throws coming up. Let's take a look at that transition situation we had there. And with, 16 on the shot clock, a fair shot there by Econopolis.
In and out, yeah. It was a nice pump fake. He went up with it. Got open, took the jump shot. Looked like it was going to go down, but it just rolled in and out.
Back to live action. Here's your free throw. And it's good by Laura. It is a 31-point game again with 11:18 remaining. I feel like we're part of the fan crew up here upstairs. We got the fans kind of surrounding us here at our table.
Standing room only here today.
A lot of Anna Maria fans to our left, a lot of Albertus Magnus fans to our right. Hello, folks. How are you? And the second free throw missed. Rebound by the aggressor earlier, Day. Coming down the other end now, Day with his team down by 31. Again, 29 was the halftime lead by Albertus Magnus. So it still has been expanded upon. And Click will be called for the travel. Drag that foot. And those are the turnovers you don't want to see.
Mistakes like that are just going to kill you all day. You got to be sound with the ball. You got to hold on to it. And you got to finish. You got to capitalize.
So Dave McHugh continued with his point earlier, and we'll continue the debate on our next time out about the respect issue in the committee and what Albertus Magnus hopes for. As we have a foul, Dugas was fouled by McGee, and essentially we'll play point counterpoint.
Sure.
You can counterpoint Dave's point here, which is if they win, they will jump because the number of teams ahead of them have or will lose. But still, yeah, teams ahead of them in their region, but how are they going to be paired up? There's 8 sub-regions essentially in Division III, and how are they going to be folded over if they're getting so little respect in their own region currently against the more Atlantic-based regions that they could be matched up against in that bracketing? That's where my point would be. I don't know what your thoughts are as we look at number 22 for Albertus Magnus. As we have some new players in here, let me say it's Julian Sanders, who was fouled.
I think when it comes down to it in the end, you just have to take the seeding that you're given, go out there and just believe you can beat whatever team they throw at you, and earn that respect. Take it, and when you win the games in the tournament down the road next year, the year after that, you'll start to see more respect coming your way. Think about Boise State in football. it took them years to actually get that respect, and once they got it, now that's something that they have year after year.
The GNAC has won their first-round games in very, let's say, upset-oriented fashion the last 2 years. Johnson and Wales last year against Ramapo, and Albertus Magnus obviously against William Patterson, the buzzer beater. You can't really say this team or these teams haven't at least tried to prove their worth here. And you heard the point about scheduling as this Albertus Magnus ball on the out-of-bounds play. You heard the point about scheduling that Athletic Director Spinner said they can't really, for some reason, schedule many NCAA teams, the teams that really are the meaty teams in this region. So what can they do about it? I guess the tournament is where they have to prove it ultimately.
You have to prove it in the tournament. A record like this, when you have one loss for the entire season and you're still not getting the respect, that means that you've got to prove it against the teams that you're trying to compare yourself to.
Dugas with that shot. He made that down the other end. It's going to be Corey Pryor.
Think about Eli Manning football this year. Beginning of the season, he said, I'm in the same league as Tom Brady, and a lot of people said, no way.
But he won the Super Bowl against Tom Brady eventually to prove it, but nothing short of that would have proven it. Good point. So that's an interesting debate, and you'll hear more about it, I'm sure, tomorrow night on Hoopsville on d3hoops.com on Ustream.tv. And back here now, it's a 34-point lead, and Dugas driving, putting it up, and the fadeaway will not go in. Rebound by Click. Click with 9:15 remaining. We'll send it to Pryor. Pryor, fadeaway, can't get it. And rebounded by Bristol. Bristol has really shown himself in this game, even playing with the fouls he's got. He is fouled going up himself by number 1, I believe that call was on. Is that against Spencer Smith? Yes, it is his 4th foul. So we have a player right now in real foul trouble for Albertus Magnus, and it is Spencer Smith.
Yeah, Bristol's playing strong today. I'm sure that he expected a little bit more out of himself, but he's still playing hard here with 9 minutes to go.
And that first free throw is good. Making it again. It's 75-41 ball game. Dugas comes out. To a lot of applause right now, and I believe you're going to see a lot of stars come out. Excuse me, it's 75-42. The point came up late on that scoreboard, so it's a 33-point game. Javier Bristol, second free throw up and in. 32-point game.
Right now, as the clock ticks down, that's pretty much the biggest opponent that Anna Maria has.
And Albertus Magnus in some ways, too. They just want this game to be over with now. They've got that 30-point lead. They've proven what they have to prove here, and let's get out of here with that proof and cut down the nets for the GNAC championship.
Absolutely. Right now you got to make sure that, nobody gets hurt. Stay in control.
3 ball off the back of the rim. Rebounded by, guess who? Bristol. Coming down the other end. Click. Driving to the paint, kicks it out, and that shot is off the side of the rim by Gorman. Gorman gets his own rebound back, though, puts it up and in. Back to a 30-point game.
This is the time in the game where you want to just make sure that your offense is running properly. You don't want to get sloppy. You want to make sure you're making the passes, working as a team, and this is the kind of time that if you play it the right way here, it transitions into the tournament. If you get sloppy now, maybe first round of the tournament, you're going to be sloppy. So you got to stay focused.
Sweeney, hard fall there. He does get up, though, looks fine. And this shot taken and falls in. Nice help on the back of the rim there for Julian Sanders. And now Click on the other end, just outside the paint, puts it up off the front of the rim. It's going to hit the baseline, goes to Albertus Magnus. And some more switching up going on here for Albertus Magnus as Jackson comes out. Looks a little gimpy, though, as he comes out. I'm not sure. He's trying to run on the sideline there in the background. It just came out of your screen.
Yeah, something happened to him.
Yeah, maybe he got a little Charlie horse or something, trying to run out of cramp. I'm not sure. Actually, I said Jackson. That's Spencer Smith, actually, isn't it? That's doing that. Jackson's still in the game there. His one was doubling over there. Sorry about that, folks. And pass inside of Sweeney goes errantly, but to his teammate Rogers, and Sweeney puts it up and in.
That was a nice touch pass by number 50, Mike Sweeney. He was double teamed, kicked it out.
3-pointer on the other end is good for Gorman.
Cuts it to 31.
Getting those math skills challenged here today with large subtraction. So you know, you got to give Anna Maria credit. No matter what happens in this game, I don't care what the final score is, you cannot take away, just like you couldn't take away the buzzer beater from Albertus Magnus, we were saying earlier, against William Patterson, despite what happened that next night. You can't take away these last 2 games before this to get to this point as a number 6 seed and their first year in the GNAC, and they have not been to a conference championship game since 1996.
Absolutely. It's a big accomplishment to get here. Being here in the first place took them a lot of hard work. They had to beat some tough teams. So great job by them this year.
So down the other end, Anna Maria right now, down by 31. Has some of their second-teamers in. Bethune back out to Click, who's still in the game. Click tries to heave a pass over to Pryor. 4-3 off the side of the rim. Rebounded by Rogers. Rogers will send it back to, I believe, one of the shorter men on the court. 5'5", Troy Owens.
He's a crowd favorite here.
Rogers over to the left corner, and Jackson 4-3. Swish.
Buries that one.
82-48. 5'5". Maybe I could have played basketball after all.
Maybe, Frank.
Yeah, it takes skill too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Down the other end, Pryor misses the 3. Rebound knocked out of bounds by Albertus Magnus. Will stay AMCATS ball here, down by 34. 6:07 remaining, second half.
82-48.
You don't think I have the skills for basketball, Jeff? You know me for how many years?
I've known you for a while. I think that if you worked at it, I think you'd have a chance.
5'5". He's listed as a guard. I'm not shocked by that for some reason.
No, I'm not shocked.
But he's a freshman, so he's obviously got skill that they saw and want him on this team.
Yeah, maybe he'll grow another foot.
What? Quantes Franklin foul going up. He'll get 2 free throws here. Maybe he'll grow another foot.
Still young.
Well, he's a speedster, though, I'll tell you that much. From Bridgeport, Connecticut, so hometown area guy. Yep. Colby Cathedral is his high school. So, Troy Owens, a name to watch out for now because of your views.
Yeah, Albertus Magnus has a lot of homegrown talent. A lot of guys out of Connecticut. Looking down the list, everybody is from Connecticut except we got Laura from the Bronx.
Yeah. And Laura was part of that team 2 years ago, the second round exit, but nonetheless, they did win a tournament game with Laura on that team. Anybody who's a junior or senior should remember that game, as unless they transferred in. They were part of Magic that night in New Jersey. And
I think that's one big thing about this game. Albertus Magnus has been here before. They've got players who did win that championship, and they remember what it's like. And when you're in that situation, getting back into it, it makes you more comfortable. You know what it takes to win. You feel comfortable winning, and you can go in there relaxed and confident. On the other side, Anna Maria, they haven't been to a championship since 96. So
yep, 1996.
It's been a while for them.
And down the other end, Zine in the game now, and it's all passed all the way back to Matt Landry, the guard, junior. Will have it knocked away. There he goes. And
big rejection.
But I believe a foul was called.
Yeah, there's a lot of contact there, but
let's take another look at that one.
Yeah.
As the Seals coming up in a moment here, I believe, if memory serves. There it is.
Gets it.
Down the other end.
He's gonna try to throw it down or what? He goes up strong. No.
He will get free throws though as we come back to live action. And his first free throw up and good. Put him in the scorebook. Troy Owens, 5'5" guard, freshman.
If he threw that down, the crowd would have gone crazy.
I don't think the rafters would have been existing after that.
No, everyone would have stormed the court, tore everything down.
There's still another 5:18 to go in the game, but just a newsflash here, Jeff. The second free throw is good. It's a 34-point game.
Hey, when Wilt Chamberlain scored 100, they didn't finish the game. Everyone just went nuts, so you never know.
Here's a three-point opportunity missed by number 14, Daniel Belliard. And the rebound ends up in the hands of crowd favorite Troy Owens. Owens has sent it down to, it looks like Boykin in the game now. And over to Matt Maya. Around number 4, DJ Griffin. Back out to Boykin. 18 on the shot clock to the left side. Griffin, 4-3 off the back of the rim. Rebound by Anna Maria. I believe actually the ball is sent out of bounds. We'll go back to Albertus Magnus with Steve Zine with the powerful attempt there.
Yeah,
that looks more like what I would do if I was playing at 5'9", 5'5", or otherwise.
Got a 34-point lead with 4.5 left.
And second teamers are in. Ball stolen for Anna Maria. Coming down the other end, Bethune hands it over to Belliard. Belliard back outside the stripe for 3. Off the front of the rim. Rebounded by Griffin. Griffin will pass it over to Owens. Owens thinking about something, but he sends it to the left side instead. And the 3 is missed by Boykin. Crowd wants to go nuts for every second teamer's point here. And they haven't had much to cheer about yet except for that attempt by Owens. And this ball will roll in by number 22, Brian Conrad, the junior guard. Gets the 2 to make it 32 points.
Nice floater right there.
84-52. They want to cut down the nets here for the GNAC championship, does Albertus Magnus on this Saturday afternoon. 2 teams down in Long Island want to do the same thing tonight in the Skyline Championship. Purchase visiting Farmingdale State. Stay tuned for that on d3hoops.com, on ustream.tv at 8 p.m. We're going to try to get on the air around 7:45, 7:50 p.m., traffic permitting for me. Here's a 3 opportunity for Albertus Magnus' Matt Maya, but the putback by DJ Griffin is good. 86-52, rather. On the other end, a 3-pointer by Matt Landry off the rim, rebound by DJ Griffin. Owens crossing the timeline. Wants to split defenders, but he saw it close up, so he'll give it to Griffin instead. Now a 3-point attempt by Boykin off the back of the rim, rebounded by Landry. Now Zine. Well, it's stolen. Owens, what's he going to do this time? Puts it up and in.
Quick timeout called.
Just for a change of players at this point.
This is a great opportunity for Albertus Magnus right now. They're able to get their second teamers in a championship game. It's still an important situation, and they got the big crowd going. Lets them be a little bit more relaxed when they get to the tournament.
But I got to tell you, no basket because they called the timeout before the shot.
Really? That's weird.
He could have called it on the made basket still, even though it was an offensive possession at that point. But yeah, Mitch Oliver called the timeout early.
He's on a fast break.
34-point game still, 86-52. I don't think I've ever seen that happen.
No, I thought I heard the whistle before the basket.
I thought it was just anticipation, maybe.
Yeah.
That shot by Griffin missed. Back out. Timeout.
And another timeout.
For some more changes. He wants to get the bench in, so this will be a fast just change over timeout. Anna Maria agrees to it. No problem.
The crowd is appreciating what their home team has done so far this afternoon.
And there you go. You can see them.
Yeah, look at them. They're loving it. Their team is really, really showing what they've got. 86-52. They dominated from the start. And they've really earned this championship.
2:30, 2:24 to be exact left here, second half. You can hear the old school rock song being sung.
Yeah.
Normally indicates that things are about to end here very soon.
Hopefully they don't take it too much past that. Let's be gracious winners.
Yes, exactly. Anna Maria, again, it fought a hard road to get here. They had to go up to Maine the other night, and that's never an easy trip in the winter. You know that.
Never.
And this ball finds the hoop. Give those points now to Owens. Nice job. And he almost pokes this one away. Nah, stays for Anna Maria. And on the corner, it'll be Matt Landry missing the 3. Rebounded, though, by Daniel Balliard. Back out for 3. Missed again. Brian Conrad this time. And over the back foul being called against Anna Maria. 36-point game. A minute 36 left. And it is Albertus Magnus ball. Actually, they're going to say because there's a rebounding foul, that was the 9th team foul against Anna Maria. So there will be shots there.
Things are getting a little bit chippy out there.
Yeah, we got to get this game over with soon. A lot of contact, I got to be honest, in the Owens situation there. I'm surprised they didn't blow the whistle on it. However, some of New Haven's finest are right behind us, maybe to protect us. I don't know.
Maybe.
I feel like we don't want to protect the guy in the picture. It'll be worth more if he isn't around anymore. in the 1-and-1 front end, missed by 13, Kevin Rogers. So it is Anna Maria ball. 90 seconds remaining. It's McKee. And slices, dices, puts it up, fouled. He will get 2 free throws, but wanted the basket and 1. Will not get it. Foul there by number 22, Julian Sanders. So, Jeff, your first real color commentator job. Second half was great, by the way. You much improved in the second half. You did well in the first, but even better in the second. What'd you think of this experience overall?
Oh, this has been a lot of fun. I mean, to be able to come out here in a great day like this, great crowd, great game, and the championship atmosphere. I've really enjoyed it, and I appreciate it. Thank you for inviting me out here.
And there's his name, folks, in lights for you. Jeff Franson, Frank Rossi here in New Haven as the GNAC Men's Championship draws to a close, 88-54 here. And here's an easy put-in. Well, no, he made it a little more difficult than it needed to be. Kevin Rogers did, and he misses it. 34-point game. Score pretty much says it all. This is not a lying scoreboard in any way, shape, or form. Domination from the start, and then they held on. Nice steal there by Boykin.
Absolutely. They've shown themselves to be champions. They've earned this, every little bit of it.
Now they'll have to wait till Monday afternoon, or around noontime, I believe, to see where they're going to play, as Turner Sports and NCAA.com will essentially put out the pairings and their selection show Monday. So those wondering where Albertus Magnus will play, they won't host most likely. It would take a real change of heart by the committee, and I don't see that happening. But a 22-game winning streak as Owens is blocked. Like Griffin gets the ball back, and they're going to call
timeout.
I thought so.
22nd?
No, that's it.
No.
Well, they get a mass applause, standing ovation here, as you can see in front of us right now. Camera getting a little blocked out, but that's okay. 17 seconds remaining, and Anna Maria with no shot clock. Well, they will take a shot at 3. Misses. Rebound, put back, blocked.
And that's going to do it.
5 seconds. Yeah, just let him play it out here. Come on.
Albertus Magnus, your champions this year.
Ball thrown in the air, and Albertus Magnus is the GNAC Men's Basketball Champions for 2012.
Congratulations.
They will be going to the NCAA Division III Men's Basketball Tournament next weekend. Congratulations to the Albertus Magnus Falcons, 2 out of the last 3 years, the GNAC champions.
Good luck to them when they get to the tournament. They're going in there with a lot of momentum. 22 wins in a row. That's gonna prove a lot.
Well, one thing I'm going to say to you is you can't fly under the radar anymore as Albertus Magnus. Even if the committee isn't getting respect, you're number 15 in the nation at a D3Hoops.com top 25 poll. You're going to go up from there most likely after this weekend. And on top of that, as Dave McHugh points out, they will rise up regionally. But 22 wins in a row, the most in the nation, tied for it with Hope.
Yeah.
What can I say aside from, listen. You can't assume anybody hasn't heard about you. Like William Patterson probably was saying, we were talking at halftime, who was Albertus Magnus really when it comes down to it? So, again, we want to thank you for viewing and watching this game on Ustream. We're going to have to actually close things up here because we have to make some quick time down to Long Island as we want to bring you the Skyline Men's Championship coming up at 8 o'clock Eastern. Jeff, final thoughts, though, on this game?
Great job by Albertus Magnus. They really, really showed themselves to be champions. And congrats to Anna Maria for making it this far. A lot of hard work to get here.
And you can see they're taking their team photo right now, coming into your shot. 88-54 the final here. They did it with pretty much style throughout. 3 games, pretty much blowouts throughout. They did struggle in the first half a couple times, but they did blow it open in each game. But today, start to finish, they were the total package.
Yeah, they've got a lot of offensive weapons. If somebody's not clicking, somebody else is going to pick them up and have a big game. So
I mean, Ray Askew was pretty quiet. Did he even break double digits today? I don't think he did, to be honest. Yeah, he did 11 in the first half, but almost silent in the second half, maybe 3 points.
Yeah, he didn't do a whole lot. He had some big dunks that got the energy level up. But yeah, they've got a number of players who can really handle the ball, shoot the ball well, and finish at the rim. So
Again, just to confirm, folks, Dave McHugh reminding us two things. D3Hoops.com will have the links to Monday's selection show. It is at noontime, so go to D3Hoops.com. If you missed the selection show, they'll have the complete bracket up by about 1 o'clock, usually even earlier than that. But the site often experiences a lot of traffic as everybody wants to see where they're playing on D3Hoops.com and NCAA.com. For Jeff Franson, I am Frank Rossi. I will be flying down I-95 under legal speed limits. There's New Haven Police next to me, so I should be careful on what I say here. I will be going the speed limit to Long Island, sir. Don't worry. At all times. Sure. Thanks, Jeff. And thank you, Jeff, though, for doing the game today. And thank you to Albertus Magnus for their hospitality, Kristen of Sports Information, Mike Spinner, the athletic director, to all the Anna Maria folks that we did talk to, our fans that were next to us, very respectful folks. And you guys have a great team that you're putting together. Keep it up. And you will be back in this position again, maybe even hosting the thing in future years. So until next time, or until 8 o'clock at least, we'll see you later, folks. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys.